I thought this was such a stupid thing that Twitch did. To delete all of your content. Like, that's nuts. And, like, nobody talked about this at all. Game Theorist made a video about Twitch streamers. Maybe worth checking. This one here, Dear Twitch, grow up. It's bad. Please don't. The video's full of holes. It's so bad, you'll read it? Okay, we're definitely gonna watch it. If people are that angry about it, yeah, we are 100% going to watch it. It's got 3 million views, and I haven't had a chance to watch it. So let's go over, and we're gonna see it, okay, guys? Here we go.
She got banned? No chance. She was streaming Avatar for like 10 hours. Oh my god, she actually got banned. What?
God, yeah, her channel's gone. She was watching some anime. Oh, they got her, bruh.
Damn, Pokey got banned? That's crazy.
Toast got banned? I just heard Ray Toast got banned. Toast banned? No. Bro! They're coming for us!
Not them, me. Hello, Internet. Welcome to Game Theory, the show that's not going to be asking you for bits or donos, but would love a tap of that subscribe. Hey, Hot Butter Toast Man, thanks for the infinite month sub.
Wait, yo, what the fuck? Why am I getting tagged in this? Look at this. What the hell are they talking about me for?
Hey, Hot Butter Toast Man, thanks for the infinite month sub.
He used my chat?
Army, bro. Speaking of going live, I'm actually going to be hosting a massive live stream.
I find it's kind of like, I mean, I don't know. I find it's kind of in bad taste to use my chat on the day that Reckful died. Like, I don't know. I mean, that's... You could use any chat. I mean, like, why do that? Why do that? It's a bit much, man.
Next week to celebrate the launch of our final security breach theory. So mark your calendars for February 19th, shortly after that theory goes live. And it's not just gonna be me either. I'm gonna be joined by various members of Team Theorist, other YouTubers, and of course, all of you as we do some live theory crafting, discussing our general thoughts on the franchise and its latest release. So even though I just made a joke about hitting that subscribe button, you really should do it. And don't forget to hit that little bell too, so you're notified when that final theory drops and when we're going live. Costs a whole lot less than a Twitch sub, and with that shameless self-promotion out of the way, it's time to get back to the video.
All right, here we go.
Ironic? YouTube has become what it is today because of its emphasis on watch time. By watching my videos for a long time, you help this channel. If you watch another video of mine immediately following, you help it even more. If I make a 15-minute long video and then you watch it for longer than my 12-minute long videos, that 15-minute one is likely to do better in the algorithm. In very, very oversimplified...
Generally, that's true, right? And, like, I don't do a lot of research on, like, the YouTube algorithms right now. I'm not 100% sure every single time, but I think that is basically the case. My YouTube channel, by the way, has been doing quite well. We've been getting closer to that 2 million views a day mark, so we'll see if that happens.
Terms, minutes matter, which is why videos here on YouTube have gotten steadily longer over the past decade.
Yeah.
Where a platform built on 2-minute long Smosh skits got transformed into one full of 2-hour-long video essays on NFTs. But then TikTok...
I want to say, guys, there's a lot of people saying skip and cringe. We're not skipping it. I'm going to watch the video. The video's very bad, though? Well, then we'll talk about that. Think about it like this. Let's say the video is really bad. Let's say the video has all the things that people have said in chat. It's inaccurate, it gives wrong information, it misrepresents things, etc. Wouldn't you want me to watch it to talk about those things? Because this video has like almost 3 million views.
Rolled into town like a total Chad saying, hey, short videos over here. And suddenly YouTube is
TikTok's
all like,
super popular.
We're Chads too. We're totally down with
That's
short
why they
videos,
did the shorts,
even when they conflict with our watch time based algorithm and we ultimately have to build an entirely separate viewing and promotional experience to make them get any sort of visibility. Mind-blowing revelation for everyone. People like short videos. Go figure. The world has come full circle. Who knows? Maybe my ability to count all the way to 55 will become relevant again.
All the way to 55.
So while the rest of the internet quickly regresses back to 6-second vines, Twitch is over here as the king of long-form video. Not just an hour or two long. We're talking 6, 10, 14-hour live.
That's really funny that he would... Here's the first inaccuracy for this video, is that I actually streamed for 14 hours. Yeah, no shot, bro. No fucking shot.
Streams or more.
Yeah, I should have put XQC there.
Here on YouTube, that is actively what Twitch wants. It is what the platform demands.
Yeah, imagine like the 6-hour Andy.
When platforms like Twitch are contracting streamers, they're committing them not to a certain number of videos or views, but rather to hundreds of hours of committed streamed content every year. True story. I've had talks with Twitch multiple times over the years because I really like streaming, but the huge number of hours that I would have to commit to just pure streaming meant that I wouldn't have time for for literally anything else in my life. Especially
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I was really reluctant to even like go after like a Twitch partnership, like a custom contract, is that they want you to stream a certain amount of hours per month. And I don't really want to do that. I value my autonomy very high. And yeah, I think it's a good thing, you know, because I can stream when I want. Obviously, I forego a lot of money, but at the end of the day, who gives a shit? If you don't own your own time, then like what does anything else matter? You know what I mean? And like I get that dedicate work to works playing video games. Well, like the thing is that it's not really work playing video games. Like Twitch streaming is much more entertainment than it is video games. Like if I just sat here and played video games all day, I think that'd be boring for you guys. Like I think the reason why Twitch is entertaining and the reason why people like watching Twitch is because it does more than just play video games. It transcends playing video games. It's not just a let's play on YouTube for 8 hours. That's why let's plays have gone away and Twitch streaming has grown. It's because Twitch streaming is fundamentally more than a let's play. You see kind of what I'm saying? Like the two things cannot, like those two trends cannot exist if, in my opinion, I think Twitch streaming is just playing video games. Gameplay is boring. Gameplay can be really fun. I think that gameplay is some of my best content a lot of times, especially recently with Lost Ark. I think we've had a lot of really fun times on Lost Ark, but I also think that some of my other best content is just making videos and talking about them, right? Talking about videos and just like different discussion stuff. I like that kind of stuff a lot, man.
Operating these channels. In short, the grind is real, and streamers,
yeah, you have to stream a long
credit
time.
To them, are forced to figure out creative ways to fill huge gaps of time. That's why over the years we've seen the rise of metas over on Twitch. Content trends on the platform that many creators follow in order to get viewers.
I feel like all platforms have metas. Like YouTube has metas too. There always is going to be a meta. Like there's metas with different games. There's metas with different types of like content structuring. It's the same thing. Like in a way. It's odd that he would use this as an example, because at the beginning of his video, he actually talked about how the algorithm pushed a meta on YouTube with longer videos, and now he's saying that there's metas on Twitch as well because they need to fill longer time slots. This is the same type of thing. They're just two different types of metas conforming to two different types of algorithm, right? Well, one algorithm is created by the viewers and the other algorithm is created by the website, but they're fundamentally the same thing of people like curating their content in a way to attract the most viewers or to be the most successful that it can be.
Watching them while also filling up the massive amounts of airtime that they're locked into.
I also think that there's a lot of people that, like, for example, like use this example of like the gambling meta. Besides like Rosh, Train, Ace Von Dice, fucking, like, what's Rosh's other friend's name? Fuck. I don't know, but, like, there's, like, another one, right? Like, Aiden Rosh. Oh, Aiden does gambling streams, too. You're right. Deuces. Yeah. That's basically it. Like, there isn't really a huge gambling meta. It's just a half a dozen guys gambling on stream because they're getting sponsored. That's about it. Like, it's not like this huge meta that everybody's doing on Twitch. It's just a handful of people. Like, one thing on Twitch that happens is that there's, like, a disproportionate amount of attention that's given to things that are considered controversial or are discussion-worthy. So, like, for example, the disproportionate amount of attention that's given to hot tub streams. Like, hot tub streams made up less than 1% of Twitch traffic. But you would think, based off of the conversations about Twitch, that it was, like, half the website. But the fact is that that doesn't really represent Twitch at all. If you actually look at like a lot of these things, like people are like, oh, well, cam girls are on Twitch and it's just about cam girls, etc. If you look down here, there's really not that much of that at all. There's like Amarath at our hot tub, and that's about it. Like all these other guys, these are just fucking guys just talking to the camera and playing video games. But like what people do is they zoom in and they say, look at this. Look at this right here. This is ruining Twitch. It's not even on the, it's not even, this is like a speck on Twitch. This is nothing. It's just such this tiny little 1%, and people blow it out of proportion. It's the same thing with a lot of metas too, right? ASMR. Well, ASMR, let's look at ASMR. I think that's another great example. ASMR is down here with 12,000 viewers. It is below Overwatch. It is below Dark Souls 3. It's below World of Tanks. It's below music. It's below PUBG. ASMR, like for a let's go, we'll zoom in. This is what, actually, I'm not going to do it. But like a person that's on a 1080p monitor will not even see this whenever they open up the screen. And yes, obviously the ASMR section is a 100%, it's a dick sucking simulator. You know it, I know it, everybody knows it. And that's what it is. That's why every single person that's doing ASMR is an attractive female wearing not that much clothes, right? Almost every single one. It's a dick-sucking simulator. It is 100% sexual, and it's being portrayed as something that it's not. I don't, but like what I'm saying is that that's what it is. That's what it is. And I'm not an asshole for that. I don't even care. I'm just saying it is what it is. Look how many other categories are above it by miles. It has 12,000 viewers. Lost Ark has 160,000 viewers. Just Chatting has 500,000 viewers. It's tiny. This is like, it's so minuscule and insignificant. And people on Twitch and people based off of Twitch, and why is that? Why are people talking about it? The reason why is because it's not interesting to talk about the fact that this guy is playing League of Legends with, it seems like, no camera on, but he's probably really good at the game. Like, these guys are just playing League of Legends. It's just not as interesting to watch somebody play League of Legends. Just Chatting used to be worse? No, it wasn't. It just used to have these girls and Just Chatting. It was the same proportion. They were just in a different section. So I feel like the metas and everything like that are very overblown. Yeah, they're very, very overblown.
There have been things like the gambling meta, which has taken a lot of forms, from long stretches of opening loot boxes to more explicitly just playing online slots or roulette. There was famously the hot tub meta, where streamers talked or played games in hot tubs as part of a brilliant loophole around Twitch's clothing requirements, and it went off and spawned its own entire category of content. Yoga Pants Twister, ASMR, mukbang, even massive games like Among Us, Fall Guys, Fortnite, Overwatch.
I feel like eating food on stream isn't really that popular. I mean, that like fat guy, that guy's on YouTube. But like, yeah.
H1Z1, basically all of them fall into the category of metas. Also, having said the word so many times already, can I just say how much I hate the word meta now because of Facebook? You had to go and ruin another thing, Facebook.
And I'm really sorry that this happened.
Anyway, with
all right, well, you know what? At least I can agree with them on one thing in the video. I fucking agree with that. Definitely.
Constant search for the latest trends that can be done for hours at a time, is it any surprise that one of the hottest things from 2021 to top of 2022 has been reacting to TV shows? It's easier to produce, you don't have to play anything or rely on audience participation, you can just sit there, you can watch a show that you enjoy, and you can really focus in on your witty banter. Or not. Anyway,
I think you can always pause. Like, for example, like, you can pause a video of me, right? Like, I mean, the odds are that whenever this video gets uploaded to YouTube, if it gets uploaded to YouTube, the video will probably be over 30 minutes long. And you can find a 10-second clip of me not saying anything in that video. I think Hassan is the one that, like, Hassan is as bad as I am. He's as bad as I am. Like, he pauses and he'll talk about something for 20 minutes and it'll be a 3-minute video. Like, yes, obviously, there are going to be times that, yes, he doesn't really react a whole lot. I think that's the same with fucking anybody, right? And I will say with the TV meta, you know, I didn't really watch a lot of TV shows. I never really did that. I thought it was risky. I thought it was a mistake. And I thought that, like, you know, it's like, especially now, since like we like, I own an org and everything. Like, I kind of worry about doing that because I don't want to put myself or put other people in a bad position. So like, that's why I don't do it. The reason why, do you want to know the real reason why people watch the TV shows? It's not because it's easy content. It's because it gave them a lot of viewers. That's why. That's the big reason. Is because if you watched people's viewership numbers whenever they were watching MasterChef, those numbers would go up. They would 100% go up. And I can promise you a billion millions of dollars that if the viewer count numbers went down and people stopped watching, nobody would watch TV on stream. And that's why the meta fucking died, because people got tired of watching it over and over and over. The viewership boost wasn't there anymore, and the meta fucking died. Because all of the DMCAs turned out to be bullshit. The Toast one was just a fucking elaborate ruse, which, to be honest, was pretty fucking good. And I think a few of the other ones were just, they were, what do you call it? They were false alarms, basically. That's why it went away, is because people weren't watching it anymore, so people stopped making the content. Ludwig debunked that? I'd be curious to hear what he had to say, because I think I'm completely right. Well, I think Ludwig's a really smart guy too, so that's why I'm curious, because I respect his opinion.
You might expect the TV meta was not long for this world, for as quickly as it arrived on the platform and as popular as it was killed off by
Ludwig talked to Toast about it? Bro, Toast is real? Lily didn't report Toast? Wait, what? I thought Toast said that he had Lily DMCA him so he could pretend like he got in trouble to advertise new merch. Yeah, I thought that's what it was. But she didn't. Ludwig asked Toast. Toast wanted to fake it, but was too hard to time. Toast ban was 2 days. He pretended it was a 30-day. I'm really confused. Like, let's just move past this. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to go through like a he said, she said thing. Let's just assume it didn't fucking happen. Right? Like, yeah, I don't know. Because people are telling me I'm wrong. Other people are telling me, yeah, that's what happened. I don't really care.
Downs and DMCA notices. In January, Pokimane got a 48-hour ban after streaming episodes of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh my god, she actually got banned. What?
Less than a week later, Disguised Toast got a 1-month ban for streaming Death Note.
Toast ban? No. They're coming for us!
And it wasn't just animated shows either. That same week, Hassan got a copyright takedown for streaming clips of MasterChef.
The MasterChef meta is over.
Needless to say, no one was feeling very PogChamp that week. So today, as the dad pat of digital video, it's time we had a chat.
It was fake?
Twitch.
Yeah, that's the thing, is like they were fake and they're all wrong. That's what I'm saying, right? And so like the reason why I think the meta died, because like it wouldn't make sense, oh, the meta dies now because something that got proven to be fake happened. You see kind of what I'm saying?
Over. Come on, sit down. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. And not in your streamers, in you, Twitch. They're just doing what you taught them to do. But you, Twitch, you should know better. You're not a kid anymore, kiddo. And with that comes some serious responsibilities. Responsibilities to your creators. Responsibilities to your viewers.
He's wrong about this. I'll explain why in a minute.
Multinational global conglomerates that fill your pockets. As a company that is run by literally the richest man in the world, Twitch, you have no excuse to be this irresponsible. Grow up.
Yes, they do. And I'll explain why. The reason why they have the excuse is because if they do not take action on anybody breaking copyright without receiving a copyright notice at the beginning, that leaves plausible deniability that Twitch was not picking and choosing who they would apply copyright to or copyright notices to, so they would still be protected under the safe harbor laws of DMCA. That's why they weren't doing it. They're stuck between a rock and a hard place, where basically if they ban people for it without receiving a copyright notice, then that means that they're legally liable because they've shown that they are proactively trying to remove and deal with copyright issues on their own. So if there are copyright issues that exist on the website, they are more liable for those because they have shown in the past that they have a system for dealing with the copyright violations before they receive takedown notices. Do you see what I'm saying? So basically, they're doing this to actually, they're not doing anything to avoid having a liability for whenever the DMCAs actually do come. And also, Twitch streamers, it's like Twitch is in a really bad spot, right? Because they have to say like, hey, fucking don't do this. Don't stream TV shows in their entirety for 5 hours. We're going to get in trouble. But if they do that, then Twitch could get in trouble. So it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. That's the real reason why it happened. It didn't happen because of some, it didn't happen because of some like, oh, Twitch doesn't care. It's the opposite. It's that Twitch does care.
or you are going to be so grounded, mister. Copyright infringement is obviously a big deal over here on YouTube. You risk demonetization or a copyright strike that could threaten the standing of your channel if you so much as walk into a mall that has copyrighted songs playing in the background. It is
I hope he's not going to use an argument as if because YouTube has a draconian system that is oppressive and outdated and bad, that Twitch should also have an oppressive and outdated and bad system. Because I don't really agree with the way that American copyright exists fundamentally. So whenever I see that, like, oh, well, YouTube has a bad system, it's like a weird way to look at it is it's almost like that farming the mount, right? Farming the mount in WoW. It's that, oh, well, this mount has a 0.03% drop rate, and we don't want to increase the drop rate because everybody has to farm it the same as I did. Well, no, that's not good for everybody else. Like, I don't like that's why I always let people upload my content. Like, I don't give a shit. I don't care unless it's actively hurting my content and it's actively, like, damaging what I'm doing. Like, there have been people that have made close to $1 million probably just uploading my work. Who gives a fuck? I just fundamentally disagree with the way that American culture views intellectual property. I fundamentally disagree with it.
Literally one of the biggest reasons why music theory will never be the fourth theorist channel, as much as and I'm sure many of you would like it to be.
Yeah, Anthony Fantano had a problem with this too, actually. Like, because he used to play, remember, like, he used to play clips of music, and then he actually had to completely stop doing even that because he kept getting takedowns, which is, that's fucked. Like, it's fucked because, again, you can't use, fair use is not a proactive defense against a lawsuit. Fair use is a defense in a court of law to say that you are not guilty of a lawsuit. So you can't say, oh, it's fair use, you can't do this, because you have to prove fair use in court.
Certain types of content that are too dangerous to touch here on the platform.
It's stupid.
There are these massive archives of practically every video and audio track that has ever existed, scanning in real time against your videos to ensure that you're not ripping off someone else's stuff unfairly each time you hit upload.
The way it works, do you guys have like one of those apps on your phone where, like, if you're listening to a song and, like, you're like, oh man, what the fuck is this song? And, like, you click on, like, I have a one that's called Soundhound. And, like, so I click on, like, what was the last one I did? Let's see. Colorado by Milky Chance, Fleabag by Youngblood, let's see, I Can't Drive 55 by Sammy Hagar, Better Days, Rage by Dirty Heads, right? And so I went through, and, like, anytime I hear a song that I really fucking like, I use this app, and it tells me what the fuck the song is. And then I take the music, and I put it on my Spotify, and these are all my new songs on Spotify. And I have this, I used to play this on stream, I can't do that anymore, but I have a playlist of, let's see, how many songs? Over 1,400 songs. And so, yeah, it works the exact same way. It's just an algorithm that puts your content up against basically 100 of these apps.
Time you press go live. Most of the time, I know that I've done something wrong before the video even gets published, because the system now scans it in advance. Whereas these Twitch streams, they were showcasing entire seasons of shows, uncut, unedited, and honestly unreacted to. Every 20-minute episode available for people to watch for free for months before it ever became an issue. Nothing shows the difference between the platforms more clearly than Ludwig. For those of you who don't know, Ludwig makes great content. I love all the stuff that he produces. This one video alone about how he got views to a secret channel that he created is a masterclass in how digital platforms reward smart people who work hard and think critically. He is a really smart, really creative dude. I highly recommend.
That was a great video. I don't think I ever watched that one.
Streamer with the highest all-time concurrent subscriber count on Twitch, gaining nearly 250,000 subscribers in a month thanks to a continuous live stream of his life where each new sub extended the length of the stream by 10 seconds.
But it has been 30 days. 30 days total. As the clock winds, 2 minutes left. I got nothing left to say, but thank you.
So in late 2021, YouTube swiped him up from Twitch to be an exclusive streamer here, and he immediately got banned.
It's my third day on YouTube, and I got banned from streaming.
And banned again.
I technically got banned once.
And banned again.
3 times.
My understanding is that it didn't actually ban him, it just automatically took down the stream, and then he could just go live right after that again. So, like, because the automated system took down the stream, like, banned is not really, like, the thing is on Twitch and, like, just online, banned, suspended, and taken down are all used interchangeably, even though they're not the same thing. They're 3 completely different words that mean 3 completely different things.
anything offensive, mind you, but because of copyright stuff. He was reacting to top YouTube videos when Pink Fong brought the Baby Shark ban hammer down on him.
Apparently, DMCA is going to be a little bit more of a concern than I had originally imagined.
It's worth noting that the other two bans, he was just kind of playing into the whole thing and memeing it up. But anyway, I think he summed it up best here.
It is kind of crazy that in the first 4 days on YouTube, I got banned. In the first 4 years on Twitch, I never got banned. But growing pains, baby.
The platforms are very different in how they deal with copyrighted works.
Yes, they are.
Well, the issue really comes down to Twitch's copyright enforcement, or lack thereof. I don't think anyone was truly surprised by the takedowns that happened.
Damn, he got banned? That's crazy. I mean, it's not that crazy.
No, it's
what was
not.
confusing and frustrating was the inconsistency of the takedowns. While Pokimane and Hassan were getting copyright takedowns, there were others like XQC and Moist Critical who were still doing the same thing with no repercussions. It wasn't a simple case of break the rules, get clapped. Rather, as XQC put it,
they enforce based on how likely it is to blow up. It's why boxing stuff is extremely DMCA. It is the most insanely enforced.
I think that they only enforce it whenever they receive a takedown notice. So it actually doesn't really have much to do. It doesn't have much to do with if it's if it's likely to blow up or not. Like, and like XQC is right in a way, because if it's more likely to blow up, it's more likely to get more attention, and if it's more likely to get more attention, it's more likely to get a copyright notice, right? So like it's an ABCD thing, right? Like a chain of events, a domino effect. But I think that they only do it whenever they receive the takedown notices. So the reason why he didn't get suspended, the reason why Charlie didn't get suspended is fucking simple. It's because they didn't get a notice, and Pokimane and whoever else did. It's that simple. I think that Twitch generally, I don't think Twitch is as inconsistent as people make it out to be. But yes, there are instances where there are clear instances of people breaking the rules, and Twitch doesn't do anything about it.
Force DMCA out there. It's like boxing or UFC. It's instant takedown because they will take action in real time. When it comes to other, it's the Wild West. Nobody knows what's gonna stick, what's not gonna stick.
And this is a guy who probably knows a thing or two about what will and won't get you a copyright notice, considering that last year he got into hot water for reacting to clips of the Olympics. But he does.
I remember that shit, dude. Oh my god. Like that's the kind of stuff that I think is stupid, right? It is like, I can understand like sending somebody a copyright notice if it's like, okay, you send somebody a copyright notice for watching a whole TV show, got it, right? Makes sense. But like watching a clip of the Olympics, I mean, fuck that, man. That's bullshit. That's such fucking bullshit, man. Like, and like, again, I'm fine with people that, you know, want to protect their copyright to an extent, but there has to be some common sense involved with this as well.
Raise an interesting point. YouTube is like an archive of the internet. The videos uploaded by your favorite creators live next to grainy 240p Simpsons clips uploaded back in 2007.
That's about right.
That means that there's an unlimited amount of time for copyright holders to discover copyrighted material and issue takedowns.
Yeah.
Conversely, VODs on Twitch only live for 30 days max, and a lot of times the streamers won't even keep the VODs around at all. That means that
there are a lot of streamers who do not keep VODs around for times that they do something bad. Like, it's like how, like, it's the meme, right? Of, oh, well, you did something bad, we'll just delete the VOD, you're fine. Like, this is a very, very common thing. Twitch, same thing we talked about the hot tub meta. Twitch is tiny, barely worth mentioning in comparison to YouTube. Yeah, well, the reason why, and like, so the big point of difference of like why Twitch has these rules and why YouTube has their rules is because the YouTube system is automated. Twitch doesn't have an automated system. YouTube does. That's why you get hit for copyright way more often on YouTube, is because it happens proactively, and on Twitch, it happens reactively.
Most of the time when streamers do get caught, it usually has to be live. High-profile incidents where the streamers are caught red-handed, smacked down in the middle of a stream. But to catch and report these incidents requires a lot more effort on the part of the copyright holder, as they're probably not going to be randomly tuning into an 8-hour XQC stream at 3 in the morning on the off chance that he's reacting to some Hunter x Hunter. When it does happen, it's usually for live pay-per-view events like boxing and MMA matches, where the fight organized.
Well, and also, like, so Twitch has, like, remember, like, I talked about this, it was on my second stream. Do you remember how I talked about how there's a YouTube channel that got its stream taken down because of the fact that it didn't have a lot of subscribers, but it had a lot of viewers? Twitch has a algorithm that detects whenever a new stream reaches a certain threshold of viewers, and whenever that threshold of viewers is reached, it basically triggers a check in the system if the stream is legitimate or not, if it's being view-botted or not. That's why you see these videos, these streams go up on Twitch, and it's like Elon Musk is there talking to you about he's talking to you about crypto, and he's got the best deal of your life, man. If you give Elon 1 Bitcoin right now, he is going to give you 2 Bitcoins. Like immediately. Like he will immediately give you 2 Bitcoins. That's it. So yeah, I mean, that's it. So it's to stop view botting, and it's also to stop, like, for example, how many of you guys have watched a pay-per-view event on Twitch? Like, let's say it's like the Logan Paul fight or something like that. How many of you guys have watched a pay-per-view event on Twitch, right? It's soccer. I remember soccer used to be huge on Twitch. So, like, what Twitch does now is that they are actively monitoring the live feeds whenever one of these events happens, or they have somebody who's actively monitoring live feeds that works for that copyright agency, and then those people send the copyrights. And then Twitch deals with it automatically. And YouTube has the same thing, because there's another instance that actually like shows how this works. So do you remember back whenever that guy got banned on, he got a DMCA takedown by Amazon Game Studios because Amazon thought he was advertising gold for New World in his video? But it was actually the ad itself that was placed on the screen. Like some boomer person like thought that, like the Amazon department. So the reason why Amazon was able to do that is that a lot of these big companies have effectively a backdoor built into the website for them, so they can issue copyrights immediately and take down content immediately without Twitch actually making a decision. So whenever Amazon did that, Amazon took the content down themselves. It didn't go through a checks and balances system like YouTube on YouTube like it would normally have. It went through just Amazon, or it went through just Disney. I think Disney is a great example of this too. And basically, they don't have the same type of approach to sending a DMCA notice as you or I would if somebody was uploading something that we made in a copyright or in an illegal way. It's amazing what money can do. That's right. And again, like I am explaining this. I'm not saying that this is good or bad. I am just explaining how these things happen.
Organizers want to make really sure that the only way you're seeing Floyd Mayweather and Logan Paul dancing around each other for a rigged fight is to pay $49.99 to insert streaming service here. And the truth is, the idea of deleting your VODs on Twitch isn't just something someone figured out one day to help with copyright strikes. It is something that Twitch has explicitly encouraged in their communications with...
I thought this was such a stupid thing that Twitch did. Twitch literally made a press release telling people how to destroy evidence for a crime. You understand that, right? That to delete all of your content, like, that's nuts. And like, nobody talked about this at all. What crime? Copyright infringement? Like, that's a crime here in America? Like, again, I don't like the copyright system, but it is based. Yeah, that's why we love it. Yeah, fuck it, dude. I just thought it was just crazy that happened, man. That's nuts.
Streamers in the past. Back in May of 2021, Twitch sent an email out to creators warning streamers about using copyrighted music, and responded to, quote, a batch of DMCA takedown notifications with about 1,000 individual claims from music publishers. All of the claims are for VODs. Based on the number of claims, we believe these rights holders used automated tools to scan and identify copyrighted music in creators' VODs
download a car.
Clips. I don't know about you, but reading between the lines, it seems a lot like Twitch is telling streamers, this is how not to get caught. Don't save your VODs. And you know what? You don't even have to read between the lines, because later in the same letter they outright say, quote, if you know you have unauthorized music or other copyrighted material in your past VODs or clips, we strongly...
I want to say that I know on pretty good authority that Twitch, if you delete your VOD, Twitch doesn't go to their mainframe and they're like, oh man, she had a nip slip but she deleted the VOD, we can't see it anymore. Fuck, now we can't ban her. They have all of it saved. There's a backup. Yeah, Devin Nash did a video about this, how VODs are still available. Of course Devin did. Like, Devin knows this stuff better than I do.
recommend that you permanently delete anything that contains that material. And it seems like most streamers got the message loud and clear. And that's just irresponsible, Twitch. You're being a bad influence and setting your creators up for trouble. That whole delete stuff because other people have automated tools and are hunting us down mentality? Yeah, you're too big, you're too old, and you have too many creators depending on you for their livelihoods to play so fast and loose with the rules at this point. YouTube has not only managed to make a system that works for archived videos, but also for their live content. The systems just automatically scan live streams for copyrighted content and takes them down when necessary. Just ask Ludwig. And guess what? That's not me just being a shill for YouTube. TikTok is working on their version. Heck, even Facebook has a version of live copyright monitoring, and they're the absolute worst. Twitch, on the other hand, is just not interested in doing that. According to a January report by the Washington Post, quote,
well, it's a lot harder to do that. I think that's the big reason, is that it's a lot harder. And like the difference between like TikTok and I think you can go live on TikTok, but what I'm assuming is that like it's way different to parse out a video than parse out a live stream. So yeah, YouTube live streaming, yeah, it's like YouTube does it live. They also do it live. You're right. I don't really know if Twitch will ever do something like this or not. I have no idea. Like for me, here's the truth. Like, yes, it would suck. Like, maybe I wouldn't be able to play certain songs at the beginning of my stream or something like that, sure. But for me, it wouldn't really change a whole lot. Like, I don't really give a fuck that much. It doesn't really affect me a whole lot. I don't watch a lot of TV shows. I just watch, like, different YouTube videos, and that's pretty much about fucking it. And on top of that, a lot of the people that I watch their videos, they like whenever I watch their videos. And I try to make, this is a goal of mine, right? I try to make my content transformative, and I try to, you know, like really give a fair shake to what they're doing. Copyright claimers will eventually force Twitch's hand for sure. Unfortunately so. As I've said, I don't like the American copyright system at all. I find it oppressive.
Yet to create its own automated system for live content ID, and it does not appear to be in the process of doing so. That is crazy! Twitch, you've been doing live streaming for longer than anyone. If anyone should have been on the front lines setting the industry standard, it should have been you. Because guess what? Not only does it put your creators in the line of fire, but it's shooting yourself in the foot. By not self-policing, by not setting the tone for how copyright is handled on your platform, you are
again, like the reason why they don't self-police is to create plausible deniability to remain under safe harbor laws in DMCA. Like, that's the reason. The only reason that YouTube doesn't do that is because they reached like a 3-year agreement with a bunch of different companies, and it took 3 years to get there. And now other companies or other places like Facebook, etc., like Facebook has a very complex system too. I don't really go on Facebook anymore because every single time I go on Facebook, I see a middle-aged mom posting Minion memes, and then I realize I went to high school with her, and I have to go lay down.
The power to third parties, people who are going to be much less lenient, much less forgiving.
It's not
and
fun.
when the dam does break in situations
Tell you guys,
like this
it's
one,
not
it's going
fun.
to give your platform and your creators a big black eye. You've been able to get by so far because you've been under the radar, but now that low-profile persona is fading away, and this is going to start happening more and more. And also, don't you like money, Twitch? I know your big boss man Jeffy Bezos does, and probably give you a pat on the head if you earned him more. Maybe he'd paint one of his rockets Twitch purple or something. Growing up as a platform and building these sorts of copyright tools would likely make advertisers, brands, and media companies, all of them, more comfortable with your platform and the content on it. Meaning, ultimately,
I do not care. I don't think that has anything to do with advertisers. Like, yes, to a certain degree, advertisers would be more okay with it. But the fact is that copyright infringements, in my opinion, are not even in the top 10 for why advertisers would be reluctant to advertise on Twitch. And you want to know a huge reason why advertisers would not want to advertise on Twitch? It's because Twitch has a very, very rudimentary system. Google AdSense. There is a reason why people think Google is going to take over the world. It's because the Google AdSense and the Google Analytics and the Google search engine is the most advanced and most well-designed search engine and analytics machine in the entire world, and nothing else is even remotely fucking close. That's how you can talk about things. You can look at something on another website, and then the next thing you know, you'll see a video on it or an ad about it or something even tangential to that on a YouTube video a week later. It's because YouTube and Google Google really has such a lock on advertising and AdSense. And the reason for that is because they have such a good job at making sure that they create ads that target people that want to watch those kinds of ads, they have a higher success rate in converting viewers of ads into buyers of products. But on Twitch, we don't have that. Everybody gets the ad. I can't go to Yemen. I'm an analyst. Everybody gets the ad. Tell them Cactus Jack sent you. To hell, apparently, nowadays. And listen, what I'm saying is that the fact is that YouTube has a much better way to direct viewers and direct people directly to the ads that those people are most likely to engage with. Twitch does not have an AdSense program that is that good. So whenever Nike spends $500,000 on advertising on Twitch, they probably have a lower conversion rate of that $500,000 than they would on YouTube. Do you see kind of what I'm saying? Yeah. And so, like, that's a big reason. Also, like, there's sexual content, gambling content, what do you call it? And also, I think, like, a lot of streamers do get really good deals. Like, I don't even know if this is entirely true. Like Fusely is sponsored by Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper's a huge brand. Like, we're sponsored by Mountain Dew, which is owned by PepsiCo, right? Mountain Dew Game Fuel. And, like, there's tons of people on Twitch that are sponsored by blue chip brands all the time. So this isn't necessarily true, and it's also not true entirely with the ads that Twitch delivers, because Twitch does have a blue chip ads on their platform. So, yeah, I think that, like, YouTube is better at it. But the reason why YouTube is better at it, copyrights are not even in the top 10, in my opinion.
Ultimately, more money for you and your creators. Just consider the meta that we're talking about today, where Twitch
Shizzle,
streamers are watching TV
subs.
shows. Twitch has proven in the past that non-stop streams of TV shows could work. Back in 2017, when they did a 2-week live stream marathon of Yu-Gi-Oh! On the official Twitch Presents channel, to an audience of tens of thousands of concurrent viewers that were monetized by frequent ad breaks. Give you that real, authentic TV experience. Internet and the TV truly have become one and the same. That may have been a one-time event, but then what about the official Bob Ross channel? That one's going strong.
I think this is a very bad comparison, because both of these examples, Twitch owns the rights to do this. So, like, whenever Twitch runs something like this, it's not like Twitch just decided that, hey, we're going to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Today on the official channel. No, Twitch owns, or Twitch had an agreement with the people that own the copyright of Yu-Gi-Oh! To do this. It's the same thing with, I'm trying to explain this, and people putting the cool story Bob thing, and I think that I just feel like they're being condescending to me. They're like, okay, yeah, wrap it up, Baldy. Yeah, we know what you're gonna say. Yeah, okay, Baldy, wrap it up. Come on. Yeah, look, what I mean is, like, look, Twitch is able to do this legally, so it's different.
Doing 24 and 48-hour streams of the joy of painting, with each stream reaching over 100,000 views. And yeah, you can purchase a channel subscription to Twitch user Bob Ross. Examples like these show that the Twitch TV meta doesn't have to be a legal liability if Twitch is willing to turn it into a legitimate commercial opportunity.
That's true.
Right now,
that's
there's
actually
an
a good
underground
point.
whisper network of what shows you can get away with streaming on Twitch without getting a copyright strike. But instead of that...
Yeah, that's definitely true, is that some people, like, there are shows that have a higher risk of getting a copyright strike. It's the same thing with music. Like, if you're playing, I don't know, Dream Theater, or you're playing Corporal Connie, or you're playing Sabaton, the chances of you getting DMCA'd are a lot fucking lower than if you're playing Rihanna or Drake. Or Metallica, right? But I feel like Metallica probably doesn't really keep up with it. Like, Metallica, that was the thing 20 years ago, right? With Napster and, like, Kazaa and shit. But, like, nowadays, like, obviously, the top 40 type songs, they are much more highly regulated, or not even really regulated, but monitored. They're much more highly monitored.
What happens when a company with a big nostalgia property decides to openly give Twitch streamers permission to use their content? Or
they did this. This is a great idea, and they did this with Arcane. Because this is what I said should happen, right? Is, like, I would want to have, like, a sponsorship. Like, now, like, the Lord of the Rings series, there's just, like, so much drama around it. I don't think that I would. But, like, in the future, like, let's say we have a new series. Like, there's a series that I really want to watch. If I could watch that on my stream as a premiere, I would do that. So, like, this literally happened with Arcane.
pay them to do it. Say, I don't know, get a popular streamer to do a marathon of the Ghostbusters cartoon to get people excited for when the new Ghostbusters movie hits theaters. Or get popular Twitch streamers to stream their live reactions to the first few episodes of a new season of TV. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah, I would love to do that. I think that would be really cool. Like, I am one of the premier React Andies on the platform. Like, this is like definitely one of my main things. I love it. Why people are shitting on this video, it's pretty good. I think I'll talk about why people are shitting on the video as well at the end of it, and I'll talk a little bit about it and like the inaccuracies and like just in general like the way that people feel about it. I don't think this video is as bad as people made it out to be though. Like I was expecting it to be a lot worse.
If Pluto TV can manage to get streaming access to every random rerun out there in the universe to fill 250 channels of free 24-hour content, then why not you, Twitch? And hey, you have Amazon Prime videos and exclusives over there.
Well, they have this, but you can do watch parties. Watch parties suck dick because it only is available. You can only participate in a watch party if you have, what do you call it? If you have Amazon Prime. Like, watch parties will never grow, they will never catch on, they will never be popular. And I understand, I think, who was it? Was it Hassan that did the watch party for Borat and he got like a million viewers or something like that? That only really happened because Twitch integrated and embedded his stream in like the Amazon website or something like that. These were not 100,000 legitimate individual people. And that's just the way. It's the same reason why like F Extra Life has like a bunch of viewers. It's basically it's view botting, and Twitch does this. They have like packages that they sell, and they also give it to people on the front page too. So Pecora, I don't know about Pecora. I have no idea. He's very condescending though. Well, I'll talk about that. Right, I will talk about that.
Think about getting streamers to react to those, maybe derive interest in all those random art house films that you're always paying people to make, or, you know, the good shows like Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, which is fantastic and deserves more love. We live in an oversaturated media environment where hype is more important than ever for getting people to care about new movies and shows, and so doing stuff like partnering with streamers has huge impacts for viewership and brand awareness. You think it's a coincidence that the Bob Ross painting challenge became such a big trend over here on YouTube after the Bob Ross...
Wasn't he just saying at the beginning of the stream again how there weren't metas on YouTube? As a point of difference between YouTube and Twitch, that there were no metas? There are metas on YouTube. There are metas everywhere. There are metas. You know what another meta is? Where's the Doja Cat song? No, he clearly said, wait, what was this here? He said YouTube has metas too? He never said YouTube had no metas? You're right, he did not say that. But what he did is he asserted that because Twitch streams were so long, that people create metas because of Twitch streams being so long, which is an implied point of difference between Twitch and YouTube. This is an implied point of difference. It is not direct. You are right. He did not say that, but he implied that.
Twitch stream revitalized his name in the public consciousness.
I'm right,
so when I say that
right.
Twitch needs to grow up as a platform, I don't mean that in a finger-wagging old grandpa MatPat here on YouTube knows the best kind of way. I also told YouTube it was time to grow up last year, so it just seems to be the kind of thing that I do now. Dad Pat's final form has truly been unlocked. I know there's always going to be resistance to the idea of becoming more corporate. Everyone wants to be the underdog rebel who doesn't play by the rules. But as we just talked about, there are clearly ways to have fun and make a profit for everyone while still following the rules. Twitch is so close.
I agree with that. I think that it's like not necessarily like ads and corporations are not fundamentally bad. I don't think they're fundamentally bad, but I think that they usually make the viewer experience less authentic. And I think that's what people are really fighting back against, and that's what people are really pushing back against, is not necessarily the idea that the viewers are like we don't want corporations involved. It's more that whenever corporations get involved, you lose that grit, you lose the authenticity, and you lose a lot of the things that people like about Twitch and the people that like things that people like about YouTube. The reason why YouTube and Twitch are such popular platforms, and I think it's also the same reason why TikTok is a very popular platform, is that the content to a certain degree, and I think this is more so true with Twitch than YouTube, because it's harder to put on a face whenever you're on a live stream for hours at a time versus, you know, editing a video where you look good. And top left. Oh, look at that, dude. That's a good day. Look at that. I forgot all about that. That was a good day. And yeah, anyway, So what I was saying here is that, like, Twitch distracted myself because I was thinking about, like, so, like, I thought about that. I read Lost Ark, and then I thought about the fire, the fox that I was fighting, and then I remembered that, like, she had that human form where her boobs were really big, and then I forgot what I was gonna say. Give me a minute, guys. Let me go ahead and let's just move back just for a second, okay, guys? Fuck. Okay. Oh shit. What was I gonna say? Oh wow, that was really you guys really got me there. Wow. What was I say about Twitch? Like something about like Twitch and like some like copyright shit, right? Like I don't remember. I don't remember what it was. But like, yeah, who gives a fuck?
To getting things right, but it's the creators that can really help make this final change. Don't just try and get away with what you can. Push Twitch to do better, to be clearer with its guidelines, to
I don't agree with pushing Twitch to do better and do the guidelines. What I agree with is I think that, like, for example, I'd love to have on what, you know what an example of doing better is? Let me give you an example of what I think doing better is. This is what I want to see more of right here. This right here. We don't need to see. That's whenever Train tweeted at 21. He tweeted at 21 motherfucking Savage, and 21 Savage said, yeah, you can play my shit. Like, that's what I want to see more of. I don't think that it's going to come from a platform. I think that it's going to come from guys like me, guys like Train. Like, I would love to, like, for example, like, next time, I don't know, Tool comes out with a new album, I would fucking love to have them on my show and, like, talk about the album, talk about, like, my experience with the music, maybe have, like, a couple of my friends on, dude, and, like, play the music. That'd be really fucking cool. Yeah, so this will be in 10 years, right? Exactly. So that would be fucking cool, and I don't think it's out of the question. I don't at all. Run, thank you very much for the 10 gifted subs. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's the same thing with, like, other types of music as well. And just like, that's just the first band that I can think of off the top of my head. But like Sabaton, right? I fucking love Sabaton. So like, if I could ever do that, that would be really, really cool. So I think that these integrations are actually going to come from, they're not going to come top down. They're going to occur within individual communities. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm about, man. Nightform 97, thank you very much for the 5 gifted subs. I appreciate that. Yeah. And so, like, because I would want to advertise their stuff, right? And in a lot of ways, this was one of the biggest arguments that I made with content, is that by playing the music, there are people that say every time that I would play The Last Stand by Sabaton, people would be like, bro, what is that? I need this fucking, I need this. Like, this song makes me want to reclaim the Holy Land. Like, come on, man. Like, and they would go and they'd listen to the music. They'd download the music. And, like, every day, I felt like Sabaton would gain new fans through that, right? And I think that there is a mutual benefit. There absolutely is. Because if there wasn't a mutual benefit, then you wouldn't have game companies paying streamers to play their games. The reason why game companies do that is that they know that that promotion is valuable. So, yeah, I mean, I think that's and it's good for everybody. Right? And that's the thing, is it's good for everybody. And I think that's the big reason why I'm against a lot of the copyright systems that the US has, is that I feel like they're reductive not only towards creating new content, but they're also reductive towards people that want to grow their content, and their content's necessarily not necessarily owned by them. Like Kanye West had this problem. A number of other artists have this problem where they don't own the masters of their own work.
Partner with more companies. The point is, at the end of the day, it's great to be a rebel, but once you have people depending on you, their lifestyles, their homes, their families, their employees, you have a responsibility to be a good partner to them as a business.
Yeah, Herman Lee Dragon Force. Yeah, there you go.
Creators in the wrong in this situation? Absolutely. I don't think anyone could claim ignorance or reasonably argue otherwise.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like, if you're watching a TV show on stream, you know what you're doing. Like, every single person knew exactly what they were doing. Station of Play, thanks to the 10 gifted subs. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And actually, if I ever did want to have Sabaton on my stream, I think Jay the Bard is actually, he knows people in the band, right? So I could probably actually do that. So we'll see what happens. Maybe one day that will happen. But all I'm saying is that, yeah, I mean, I don't think that And this is like a perspective thing. And this is like advice that I give to people. And, you know, I don't know if it's accurate with everybody. Of course, it probably isn't accurate with everybody. But just in general, advice that I try to give people is like, try to take bad things that happen to you or things that are setbacks and turn them into advantages, or find a way to make it work for you, right? And my dad taught me this. It's like, you know, find a way to make this work for you. And I think that this is a way that it could actually work for content creators, and it could actually be better than what we have now.
You, Twitch, share in the blame for creating an ecosystem where exploits and under-the-radar tactics take priority over responsible growth? Yes to that, too. And it's especially disappointing when there are so many other cool opportunities that you could be working to build for the benefit of everyone.
True.
So get out there, kiddo. Make better choices there, bud. Mom and I will be rooting for you from over here. But hey, that's just a theory. A gaming platform theory. Thanks for watching. And here's just a final reminder to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and mark your calendars for February 19th so you don't miss that final security breach theory, as well as the live stream that follows. It's been a long time since we did one of these massive theory crafting collab streams, literally 7 years in the making. So be there to spam the chat with "I was there." Plus, the last time we did something like this, Scott crashed it with lore hints. So maybe history will repeat itself? I don't know. Steel Wool, what you doing next Saturday? So one more time, that's next Saturday, February 19th, our final security breach theory.
That already happened? Yeah, it already happened.
Incredible live event. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you all then.
So let's talk a little bit about this video, and I'm going to link the video. I mean, obviously, you know, do these guys really need promotion? I mean, they got 15 million subscribers. They got more subs than I do, right? But like, it's a good video. I don't think it's really that bad, at least. There were inaccuracies, and I think that, like, yes, obviously, whenever the top, like, these are all corrections and clarifications of the content. Like, if you put out this many clarifications and corrections to the content that you made, I think that the reason why you do that is because the person making the content has an agenda behind it, and they have a perspective that they want to promote. They want people to think the way that they think. And I think that's kind of what happened. As you know, this video, the reason why I think people didn't like this video, I'll talk a little bit about why I think people didn't like it. The reason why they didn't like the video is very fucking simple. I think that a lot of people disliked it because it was YouTube criticizing Twitch. And people like Keemstar and other people out there as well have created this idea that YouTube streamers and Twitch streamers are two different groups of people. I upload on both platforms. Most of the, like, this guy, didn't he end his video talking about like a live stream that he was going to do potentially on Twitch or something like that? Like, I don't know. I'm sure this guy probably has a Twitch channel too. So it's to a certain degree a level of tribalism. I think also it's people that don't like seeing their content get criticized or their streamer get criticized. And I think also it's people that are worried about having content degraded again. Like, to lose autonomy and to lose control of what we can do on the platform. Just categorically. Like, just categorically, people don't like losing control over what they can watch and what they can see on the stream. And I think that's the biggest reason why people were upset about it. That's the reason why they weren't happy about it. I think that's the main thing. Also, the video did come off in many cases like condescending, like talking about how he's like the dad of it. It's just, it is kind of condescending in a lot of ways. And I think that people could very easily interpret it that way. And again, like, also at the same time, because it had a lot of inaccuracies, there are people that were like, okay, so it's this condescending video that got a lot of things wrong. Fuck this guy. As I said before, I try not to take things at face value, and I try to, like, listen to what somebody is trying to say, not necessarily what they do say. And I'm just, yeah, it's just what I'm used to doing, right? It's like you kind of have to translate, translate the biases out of it to have the conversation about the idea. And that's kind of the, that's what I try to do, okay? Obviously, it's not what I always do. It's hard to do this, but it is a goal of mine that I try to achieve. So yeah, that's where I am. And let's see here if I can read a few of the comments, and then we'll move on to the next video. We'll watch something else. Most people see something they don't like or don't agree with, don't even finish a video and make their idea of it. Well, it's not just that. I think that it's also the fact that there's a lot of people that see something like this and they just don't like copyright. I think that's the big reason. Yeah, I think they just don't like copyright the same as I don't. And so they look at somebody who's like, okay, well, this thing, you know, I don't like this thing. Well, then, okay, well, now what? Right? I don't know. Let me see what the hell the rest of this is. I don't see why so much drama about the video. I'll see what some of the comments are and we'll read those. Like, but if streamers broken the rules haven't been permabanned, while small streamers get permabanned when they slip up once. This is like, I think that this is like the dumbest thing to say, in my opinion. Like, oh wow, somebody who makes the company millions of dollars is treated differently than somebody who doesn't. Like, yeah, of course, people that are more important and more famous and make more money get better treatment. That's the way it goes in all of the world, everywhere, and it will never be different. It is the same as all the things. Like, I remember people thinking that Hillary Clinton or somebody like that is going to ever go to jail, or Donald Trump is going to ever go to jail. No, they're not. Like, you know what I said? This is Bobby's world and we're living in it. It's the same thing on Twitch. This is the way everything in the world works. Yeah, it's just the more important you are, the more money you have, the more influence you have, the less you have to follow the rules. That's just, it is what it is. And again, YouTube has the same thing. YouTube has the exact same thing. Like, how many other streamers would have probably gotten permabanned for the PewDiePie bridge thing on YouTube? Like, I would assume that there would be a lot of other people that might have gotten permabanned for that on YouTube, but PewDiePie didn't. You know why? Because he's PewDiePie. That's why. So let's see here. Complaining YouTube too strict and sold out. MatPat complains Twitch isn't strict and sold out. It's hard to say. Saying everyone's mad at MatPat, suggesting Twitch start being like YouTube, strict copyright handling, legally hand money to one company that made them copyright so strict in the first place, Disney. Yeah, it sucks. It definitely does. Let's see if I can read the rest of these. Feels completely wrong to keep this up without edits. Oh, right, that it was inaccurate. Yeah, and this is like the problem with like putting out videos and just like in general, like having videos that are like a good thing with an article, for example, is that you can edit an article. Like if you have like an article written out and there's something inaccurate in the article, you can just type delete and change what the article says. But the difference is that on YouTube, you put the video out and the video is like a crystallized form of entertainment or of media. And you can't go through and like edit this out or put this note in. You can to an extent, but it's not as effective as it would be in writing an article. I understand that you can, but can we both agree that it's not as effective as writing an article? YouTube used to have annotations. Yeah. So I know that it is there, but to compare it to being able to write an article is not true. Let's see. So much in this video is simply untrue. It's awesome. Nice disclaimer and description that no one will read. And this is what the problem is. And so like I actually ran into this issue, and like this is why it's so important to make sure that whenever you do videos that you have accurate information. And it's especially bad whenever you have a story that's unfolding and you cover the story, and then people get one impression of it, and then it turns out that that impression is wrong. So I'll use an example. Basically, whenever New World sent that one guy a DMCA, I made a video and I was really critical of DMCA, of Amazon, assuming that they did this on purpose, right? And I said, again, assuming that they did it on purpose, everybody in the chat was like, fuck Amazon, fuck Amazon, fuck Amazon, Amazon sucks, I hate Amazon, right? And they assumed that it was all completely intentional. Well, Amazon came out and they rescinded the strike and they apologized to the creator, and all of that stuff happened. So I took that original video down because that video was then at that point misinformation. So I put up a second video and people got upset about that because they said, well, Amazon made you take down the video. I said, no, I took down the video because I thought that, like, what I really didn't like, and this is something like you guys probably see on Twitter a lot, where like there'll be an article or like some sort of thing happens, it'll be like massive, horrible fucking story, this crazy, terrible thing happened, and it'll have 40,000 likes. And then the correction to it, the addendum to it, that actually contextualizes it and makes it not as crazy, has 1K likes. So these people are like, yes, they do issue a correction, but they never delete the original content that was trending in the first place, so people still believe that it's true. It's like Pro Jared is a good example of this. Pro Jared got accused of a bunch of stuff that seemed to not be true, but people didn't really read the correction. They didn't read his side of things. They just heard that this happened, and he never got a chance to really defend himself. So what I tried to do is I tried to remove the information that I find to be no longer accurate or that portrays a false image of the situation, right? Of what happened. And I thought this was a fair thing, but then people accuse me of being in Amazon's pocket. They accuse me of hiding information. They were like, why'd you take down the video? Were you a cuck? Like, what if they were lying to you, etc.? And I could not convince those people that that my perspective was right. But because they just don't care. Right? Again, you can't argue, you can't use logic to argue a person out of a position that they didn't use logic to arrive at in the first place. So I cannot logically explain to them my thought process because these people do not use logic. It's that simple. It's like going up against Brock in fucking Pokemon and you pick Charmander. Guess what? You're going to have a bad fucking time killing that Onix because that Onix is basically immune to fire damage. And those guys were a whole lot of Onyxes. It just doesn't fucking matter what you do. You can't tell them anything. So all I'm really trying to say here is that the whole situation with this is he's kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. If he takes down the video, then people will criticize him. If he keeps it up, they will criticize him. That's why it's so important to make sure that, like, especially with information like this, that you have it right in the first place. And Mo, thanks for the 20 gifted subs, man. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Thank you, thank you, thank you. In Germany, there's a rule for news that if the spread of misinformation, they have to make it right in the same size and at the same place in a news article. Yeah, well, we live in America, and misinformation is called the news. So, and also, like, I don't know. Like, there could be bullshit in Germany, too. I am not willing to accept that America is the only dystopia for wrong information. I think that there is misinformation everywhere in the world. I think that every country engages in propaganda and misinformation towards its population. I do also agree that there is a difference between the level of propaganda that somebody in China receives versus somebody in North Korea. And I also agree there's a difference between somebody in, like, let's say Great Britain versus America or maybe Brazil. Like, there is a spectrum of this, but I think that all of it does exist above the number 0. Does that make sense? Let's read a few more, and then I want to move on. Again, this is a topic that, of course, it concerns me. A lot of you guys might not really give a shit about it as much as I do, but, you know, I stream, and so I care about this a lot. I like talking about this. I think it's interesting. You guys might not know this, but I was I was going to school. I wanted to become a lawyer, and I actually wanted to focus on intellectual property. That was like one of the things that I felt strongly about. So this is something that I'm passionate about and I'm interested in. Yeah, we know. Yeah. Explaining to my dad that I was going to not go to law school and instead make videos about World of Warcraft. He says, all right. All right. Okay. Oh, you're going to do it. He supported me, though. He did. My dad supported me. First stream I ever did. I tell my dad the night before. Because, you know, this is back whenever I streamed in the AM. And I tell my dad the night before. Oh, shit. Let me scroll down and make sure I'm over here. Okay. I tell my dad the day before. I'm like, Dad, I'm going to do a stream. And my dad's like, what's that? And I told him, I'm like, it's where people watch you play video games. So, like, they'll watch me play WoW. And I was like, man, I'm going to show them how good I am, right? And my dad's like, wow. Literally, who cares? Why would anybody watch that? Why would somebody watch somebody else play a video game? And I said, I don't really know, but they do. So my dad's like, okay, well, just don't let it get in the way of work. Or don't let it get in the way of school. I said, okay, Dad, I won't do that. I streamed that night. The next day, my dad and I go to Wendy's for lunch. We would always go to Wendy's for lunch. I'm talking to my dad. And my dad says, so how did that thing go? The video, the live video thing that you did, the stream? And I'm like, oh, I made $150. My dad says, what? I tell him, I'm like, yeah, I made $150. And he asked me, he says, well, what were you selling? I told him nothing. He said, then why the fuck did they give you the money? I tell him, I don't know. I don't know. And then after that, he says, all right. Well, you're gonna be on again tonight too, right? And that was the day my dad became my biggest fan. And then later on, after that, so I go and, you know, like, obviously, like, my dad knows about train wrecks. You know, I've known Train 5 years. I still got the picture of us together over there, right on my wall. And I tell my dad, I'm like, you remember Tyler, right? You remember Train? And my dad's like, yeah, of course. I'm like, you know, Train's making $1 million a month doing gambling. And my dad's like, is that right? And I'm like, yeah, I don't do it though. He's like, so, the thing is, gambling's not really that bad. I mean, I used to gamble a lot on, like, poker and stuff, and, you know, gambling, it's not really that bad of a thing, and the fact is that, you know, sometimes you do win, and it's not like you never win. I mean, yeah, you might not always win, but sometimes you don't win. You know, that's what it is, man. That's what it is. And so, I'll have to get my dad on stream one of these days and get him to talk to y'all and, tell some fucking stories. And, what, Dad? Yeah. That's about it. When does the gambling start? Oh, it's in, like, probably whenever, next time he's over, he'll be like, yeah, come do it, right? And, what's this here? Gambling's legal in Texas? I mean, who gives it? It's with crypto, right? It's monopoly money. And, yeah. Talk about how you made $150 in your first stream? Yeah. So, this is my first stream that I ever did. Sorry, I'm gonna tell this story real quick, and then I'm gonna go on. And, like, I told my dad, and, I was like, man, like, this is what I did. And he's like, so they just sit there, they watch you play video games all day. I'm like, yeah, that's crazy, right? And I kept doing it over and over and over. And I told my dad, there was like a point where I was like, this is before I got my sub button. And I was making, like, it was a lot of money. I was making like $10,000 a month, like, streaming with, like, no sub button, just through donations. And my dad didn't really believe me. I think that he legitimately did not fucking believe me. And he would come over and he would sit on that sofa right there and he would do what he always does. He would pass out. And he would watch me stream. And there was one time I was talking about, so, like, whenever I was a kid, my dad introduced me. Have you guys ever had, like, the jar of, like, Jet Puff marshmallow cream? So my dad had, like, he introduced me to this, and he just wanted me, he's like, yeah, check this out. And, like, after I got older, I was like, well, fuck, I love this. This is delicious. This is the most delicious thing I've ever had. So I bought it for myself, and I'm talking about it on my stream. My dad's like this. You talking about that marshmallow cream? I'm like, yeah, Dad. He's like, the stuff that we used to get. I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, so anyway, and my dad's like, hold up, wait a minute. So you have some of it? I'm like, yeah, I have it. He says, where is it? I'm like, it's in the fridge. And this is what he says. Can I see it? As if he just wanted to look at it. As if he just wanted to look at it. And I hand it to him. And that was it. It was all fucking gone, man. That shit was done. Yeeted and deleted. That shit was finished. Done. And so for 605 subs, man, I appreciate that. Thank you. Your dad, dude? No, the thing is, like, after I told my dad, I regretted telling my dad how much money I was making. Because, like, my dad used to, you know, like, we used to go out for dinner. We still go out for dinner, right? I mean, my dad and I go out for dinner, like, at least once a week, usually twice a week. And we always have. And he used to pay for my meals. And then one of these days, like, I must have told him that, like, oh, man, you know, I got, like, a $2,000 donation today or something like that. My dad's like, is that right? And so next time we go over, we went to Bill Miller Barbecue. And my dad's like, I'm gonna go sit down. Yeah, I'm gonna go sit down. Just go ahead and get the food. And so then, yeah, so like now my dad's got me paying for all the fucking food too. And then I call him out on this, and then he turns around and he says, well, hell yeah, I am. I'm an old man on Social Security. You're gonna make me fucking pay for everything? And I'm like, actually, you're right. You know, so he fucking turns that shit around on me. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm like, okay, all right, fine. It is what it is. Yeah, it is what it is. You're repaying him for years of free shit. That's why I got no problem with that, man. Like, I mean, that's what you do, right? It's the same thing with my mom. Like, people always ask me, they're like, oh man, like, why, you know, aren't you mad that like your mom doesn't have like a job, doesn't do anything, doesn't work, right? It's like, no, it's my mom. I take care of my mom. I take care of my family. Like, it's just, it's not a decision. It's just what you do. Like, I don't actively make a decision to do this. It's just what happens. Servers up? No, they're not up.